Ladies and gentlemen, let's go on a jelly making adventure. First thing you need are some crab apples. Mine came from my little crab apple tree. They were enormous. See, they're that big. And then if you put them next to an orange, they're as big as a golf ball. They're huge. But you need to quarter those bad boys. So 4, and you need 8 cups of them. Now it's time to take those 8 cups and put them in a pot. And once they're in the pot, you put enough water in them to be covered but not float. Had a little trouble with that. Now you're going to put on the stove on the high heat and boil. While the pot considers boiling, we're going to measure out some sugar. The recipe calls for 3 cups. This is why I will be well preserved. I have a sweet tooth. So there's 1. Here goes 2. And here's 3. Yay, we have 3 cups of sugar. Set it aside. Here I am checking the crab apples. They're boiling. Ready to check them again? Now they're seriously boiling. And once they're seriously boiling, you're going to turn it down to a medium to low heat. And you're going to boil those suckers for 15 minutes. And hopefully you're more coordinated than I am. You go 1, 5, 0, 0. And then you don't push start me. You push timer. I can get this eventually. Woohoo! So in the meantime, I decided I needed to put down my cheesecloth. So there are 2. I'm just folding them in half. And then I put down 3 and 4 in half. Now, just so you know, this is how you don't do it. I'll show you why here in a minute. Well, after 15 minutes, it's going to be beautiful and bubbly. And you're going to start straining those bad boys. Do you see how the cheesecloth kind of sort of falls in when you're trying to pour some of that in? Yeah, that should have been my first clue not to do it like this. But, I don't take clues. So what I did is I tried to squeeze it out for a little bit, and then I took a pair of metal tongs and proceeded to try to squeeze out the delicious, juicy liquid since we need 4 cups of the brew. Whatever you do, don't do that. Because then I emptied it and did it all over again 3 more times. Don't do that. Just don't. Here's the other reason why. Do you see that? It all falls in. There's just no hope for me at this point. I kept burning myself and everything. Don't do it. Just don't. Oh boy. Because then you have to strain them a 4th time. You don't want to strain this stuff a 4th time. It's annoying. Here's how you do it. You put the cheesecloth over a sieve and then strain it through into wherever you're going to do it. And then you can squeeze the pulp out like I did here. Maybe a little more elegantly. But this is my first time making jelly. You gotta give me some credit here. Figuring this all out on my own. It does taste very good though. It was worth all the work. So, once you're done squeezing, make sure you got 4 cups of jelly. Water, I'm not sure what you call it. And then you pour it all back into the pot. And you start it and get it start simmering. I'm paranoid when I made this because I know jelly is sugary, so I know sugar burns, so I stirred this a lot. Once it started simmering, I put some of the sugar in. Did a nice little stir with that, making sure that I'm preserved nice and well in the future. And then, because I want to be preserved without sugar crystals, I stir enough to make sure that all the crystals are gone. I don't really like a grainy texture, kind of like sour candy grainy, that sometimes can be left if you don't stir in all of the sugar nice and well. So, I stirred a lot just to make sure that it's all gone. I don't want any. It's gross. Blech. I'd like to pause for a moment though and point out that this looks like Halloween blood. I know that. There's nothing that can be done about it. These crab apples were awesome. Bright red. No food colored, nothing. Want all natural. Here you go. It's about as natural as you can get. So now what we're So we're getting ready to pop in a candy thermometer. Candy thermometers tell you the temperature of the liquid on the inside. And for my candy thermometer, it's kind of bargain brand. I'm not entirely sure. But basically, what I'm waiting for is it to get to 210 degrees. It'll start bubbling like this, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily ready. You have to watch the temperature on the candy thermometer. But once it has reached 210, it'll be time to take it off the heat. Make sure you also turn off your stove. I left mine on for a little while, because I forgot. Now you can pour it into glass jars and wait for it to cool down and solidify. And that was our jelly making adventure. Thought it was pretty cool and delicious. See you later.